Hey, it's your girl Kshealiece. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be going over how I use Procreate. I get a lot of questions on my Instagram asking me how I do my thing on Procreate, so I thought it would be perfect to explain to you guys how I set up for my sketches along with my go-to favorite brushes and also my drawing process from start to finish. So if you are interested in how I do what I do on Procreate, just keep on watching. Alright, so let's get started. First, we're going to open up the app Procreate, which is $10 in the App Store. This is all the work that I've worked on in the past, but I want to start off the video by explaining the canvas dimensions that I use. Every artist is different. However, for me personally, I like to use 3800 pixels by 5400 pixels with the DPI of 300. This works best for my client work because it gives great quality and it also looks really, really good on Instagram. Now that that's out the way, I'd like to discuss brushes because brushes have a big impact in the digital art world because different brushes give you different things. I do use a lot of the brushes that Procreate provides for free. However, if you're interested in buying brushes that give your work a little extra pizzazz, I do suggest her brushes because they're very versatile and they help a lot with portrait work. Now let's talk about my all-time favorite brushes. The first one on the list is the sketch brush. I use this brush for absolutely everything. Sketching, line work, details. It's just the most versatile brush I own. I fill in large areas with this. I do small little minute details with this. It just is a perfect brush and it acts like a pen or a pencil or even a marker. Next on the list is the soft airbrush. This is different from the sketch brush because of what I use the soft airbrush for. I use it on the drawing mode and the blending mode. When I use it on the drawing mode, I love the way it puts down colors in a soft, diffused way. And I especially use this when I'm doing faces and I'm blending together skin tones and makeup and just making everything look gorgeous. I wanted to show you guys the difference on how the sketch brush lays down color compared to the soft airbrush, which is on the top. As you can see, it's all smooth and the sketch brush has harsh lines. So it's very different from the sketch brush, but I absolutely love it. I wanted to demonstrate how the soft airbrush works on the blending mode because it really does blend colors effortlessly and just very easily, and that's how I get those very nice blends on the skin as well as the makeup in all of my illustrations. Alright, and the final brush is the hairbrush. Out of all of the brushes, this one has the most specific use. Of course, I'm using it for all my hair details. I love this one out of all the hairbrushes that I've tried because I love the strands of this one. I like how they're not too close together and they're not too thick. It's perfect for drawing curly hair, straight hair, all types of hair, baby hairs, eyebrows, eyelashes. I use this for all hair in every single one of my illustrations. I wanted to show you guys how I set up for every single one of my drawings because I'm not sure if a lot of people know this. However, you can split your screen so that you can have your Photos app and your Drawing app open at the same time. And for me, since I'm right-handed, I like my reference photo on the left side, and you can change how big or how small the reference picture is by moving your finger along the center line. And I usually have it like this or like this when I am drawing. Alright, so now that all that is out of the way, it's time to finally get into how I actually do a drawing. So it's going to be my specific drawing process. I do start off with the initial sketch, and in this stage I am basically laying out the face features and just really trying to get as close as possible to my reference photo. I do this in 2 steps. Right now you're looking at the first step where I am using a light pink color and I am gridding out the face along with trying to figure out where each feature goes. And in this step I do make a lot of mistakes because to me this is the hardest part, making it look as close to the reference picture as possible. So I like to take my time, make corrections as I go, and just really try to get it as accurate as possible. I do this step in two parts. So this is the light pink initial sketch, and then you guys are going to see me right here going in with the darker pink, and this is where I add even more details. So once I'm happy with how I laid out the facial features, I go ahead and go over it in a darker color to start adding in even more details than before. So as you can see, I am adding in eyelashes, which I didn't have before, and I'm going to be adding in a whole bunch of other things that you didn't see in the lightest color, pink. And throughout this whole time, I am using the sketch brush like we talked about earlier. I'm also adding in the hair. I really like her faux dreads, so that's something I did want to keep consistent in my illustration. And I love the little curly parts. I think it's super cute. So once I'm happy with all of this, I can move on to the line art phase. This is when I am still using the sketch brush. However, I'm using it at a really dark color. I usually choose black or like a really, really dark pink. As you guys can probably tell, I love the color pink. But this is where I am taking every line that we've done previously and I am tracing over my favorite parts. I add in darker eyelashes. I make sure the baby hairs and the hair looks all bomb. I'm just making sure that I don't forget anything that I would want to implement in the coloring stage. So I added in some hair jewelry, and I also went on Pinterest and found this really cute photo that I wanted to replicate. So I added some really bomb flowers to the face, and then this is the final work. Alright, so if you guys are still with me, we are now moving on to the coloring phase. This is where we put in work. As you guys can see, the eyebrows, eyes, and lips are already done off camera because if I didn't, then we would be here for 20,000 years. So I wanted to speed up the process and just show you like the main coloring things, which is of course the face and the hair. So I start off by laying down a base color for the face, and I'm also laying down the hair base color. You can see me right here trying to find which one I'm gonna go with. And I ended up picking this one. And now I'm gonna start defining the features of the face. So I do this by highlighting and contouring by using lighter shades to highlight certain areas and of course darker shades to contour certain areas. I am eyeballing it so that I get as close to the reference picture as possible. But this part for me is trial and error. I like to see what colors work on the face, what colors don't. So I really am taking my time on this part, even though you guys are seeing it sped up like 1000%. I'm still using the sketch brush, by the way, to fill in all these areas and all these different colors. After all of the colors are filled in and it looks the way I want it to, it's time to switch to the blending mode brush, where I am using the soft airbrush like we discussed earlier to blend out the skin tone and make it look seamless and just beautiful. So see how easy it is just to blend everything together. It's super easy. During this process, I do multiple layers of what you guys are seeing. So I do multiple layers of putting down color and multiple layers of blending out color. So it's like put down color, blend it out, add more color, blend it out, add more color, blend it out. It just helps the whole illustration come together the more layers I use. I'm finally using the hairbrush. So you guys are seeing the hairbrush in action for the little small baby hairs in between the parts of the faux locks right here. I feel like using a hairbrush gives your illustrations a more realistic feel, and that's why I love it so much. Because imagine drawing each strand one by one. That would be insane. So, like I said earlier, this is not like a step by step, but we are finally on the last part, which is final touches. I do jump around in this part because, like I said before, I don't want to go too in depth, but this is where I do all of the details I just haven't got to yet. So depending on the complexity of the drawing, final touches can be a very long stage or it can be like a short little stage. Right here, I'm just working on the hair. I like to add in the shines with the hairbrush and just make it look more defined. And this was my first time doing faux dreads, and I really like the way it came out. Okay, so I want you guys to pay attention to this part because I do get a lot of questions asking how I get jewelry and things to look like really glittery or like really gold or silver or whatever color I choose. So first what I do is I always use a really bright color. In this case, I'm using bright pink because I love bright pink. And I search on Pinterest glitter backgrounds, and for this case I wanted gold, so I would search gold glitter backgrounds. Then I make sure I cover up every pink thing that I've drawn that I want to be gold. So I'm covering up every single one, making sure it's completely covered in the gold background. After it's all colored, you want to select the layer that has all the gold parts. So as you see right here, I am about to select the layer with the gold, and then you want to select the layer with the pink. Then you want to go back and you want to make sure the blue is on the gold part, and then you want to press mask. Once you press mask, you want to combine the layers, delete the pink layer, and then you're left with your jewelry or whatever you have drawn in the color gold or whatever glitter background you chose. So that's just a quick little tip on how I do that. As you guys can see, most of the makeup and everything is done because, like I said earlier, I don't want to keep you guys for 50,000 years. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I love gradients with my background. So right here, I'm doing a very cute pink and orange gradient. And I'm pretty happy with how this came out. I think it's actually really cute. So I'm just gonna sign it, and then that's a wrap. I actually changed the color of the signature so you guys can see it better. Let's do one final zoom in for y'all. Boom. Alright y'all, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a great time making it. If you guys have any questions, you can leave them down below. If you want to see some more artwork of mine, you can follow me on Instagram at Kshealiece Artistry. I enjoyed today. I hope you guys did too. And I hope I see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye.